Okay, so yesterday I posted how to make a mask, an easy pleated mask, and there were quite a few questions, and honestly, I was not planning on sharing that video. I made it to send to a friend who was trying to figure out how to make a mask really quick, so it was just for her, but it worked. We had gotten or received quite a few questions on mask making, and so I was like, well, I'm just going to post it. It's going to answer everybody's questions, but since I wasn't planning on it, I didn't hit a few important pointers or things that could help if you're trying to make a different variation. So one of the things that we're going to go over really quick is how to make a mask that could have a filter added in. So the way that I would do it is I still have my 9x14 piece of fabric, but the difference is I have serged my two 9-inch edges. So these two edges along the side, I went ahead and I serged just straight down the edge, nothing fancy. If you don't have a serger, fold that edge away from your pretty fabric or away from the color, the fabric that you're gonna make, and just stitch it down. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense right now, but in a second it'll kind of click on why I'm doing that. If you don't want to do it, I will also give you kind of like a second option. So once I do that, I'm going to fold my edges together like we did yesterday. Here's my fold. So now this is 7 inches, 9 inches, 7 inches. I'm going to go ahead and sew across from my fold, but I'm not going to sew all the way. I'm only going to sew in about 2 or 3 inches on each side, okay? So that's where it's going to start to kind of differ a little bit from yesterday. Remember, this is making a mask that can hold a filter. There's lots of different types of filters. Again, like the post said, if you read the post yesterday, I'm going to let you do your research, and I'm going to let you figure out what you want or what you feel comfortable with or what you feel is needed. That is not my position to report or tell you what to do or how to do it at all. I'm just here to show you how to make a mask. And a fun mask at that. I'll show you the print. It's going to be a fun mask. All right, so I have sewn the edges, and I left a window right in here, okay? So I can open this up in the middle. Peekaboo, there's my fabric. All right, this time when I add my straps, I am going to tuck them all in the middle, but I don't have to leave an opening on one of the sides this time. I'm going to sew all the way across. So just like I did yesterday, tuck them in. The other note that I'm going to tell y'all is make 3 straps the same color and 1 strap different. That 1 strap, you're going to tell your receiver, always goes in that upper right corner. This means that the same side of your mask will always be facing your face or away, so you have a little bit of control. A lot of people are like marking on the mask or doing a little design. You can do that, it works. I just wanted something that was always going to be there no matter how many times I threw my mask in the washer. And the best or easiest way I came up with is 1 color of a thing is different. I'm gonna have my filter go in at my chin instead of at my nose, so keep that in mind. That means that my 1 color that's different is going to be at the top or on the fold side. So here we go. I'm going to tuck these in here. I'm trying to do it quick, y'all. I know that most of you guys watched the video yesterday. So I've got 1 tucked in that top fold corner. I'm just going to stitch it, hold it in place so I can get my other one. Again, just another green one. This is going down on this stitched side. I will show you as soon as I am done here. Let's see, the door. It's just my mom. Nobody freak out. Yes, the door dinged. I'm pulling it down. We are closed, but we are filling curbside orders. There's a bench out front that people can pick their orders up on. We are super thankful for all of you guys who are using that right now. So I'm sewing it down. All right, so this side is sewn down. Again, straight all the way across. There's a tail or a strap sewn at both sides. You can kind of see them hanging out down here. Nothing too crazy. I'm going to go to the other side. Now on the fold, so this is the fold, this is where my seam was. Siri's trying to help me. On the fold is where my 1 color different is going to go. So I'm going to tuck it in here, maybe sort of kind of, tuck it in the middle. All right, since this is the filter style, I'm still going to sew all the way across. This is my 7-inch edge right across here. I'm going to sew all the way across this time, making sure that I catch those 2 tails. So I've got 1 in. I'm going to stitch it down maybe a couple inches, hold it in place, and I'll shove my other strap in there just so I don't have to hold it all in place. All right, here we go. Push it down in there, find a little end. All right, if you recall, my straps are made with a 1-inch strip, a 1-inch strip that I folded in half and I serged the rolled hem down one edge. Again, if you don't have a serger, you can make it like bias tape. You could use ribbon. You can use elastic if you can find it. I can't find it, but lots of options. Okay, so I have sewn. These are my two 7-inch sides. I've sewn both 7-inch sides, but I didn't leave the opening on the side like yesterday. Yesterday was just a plain regular mask. This time it's the filter mask, so I left my opening on the 9-inch side. And I serged the edges, but if you didn't serge the edge, you could have flipped it under, done a straight stitch right along it, or as soon as I get it flipped, remember, don't hit your face when you open it up. Or once you get it flipped and turned like this, you can come over here and just stay stitch right along those two edges and keep it turned under. So now I've got this opening, I can put my filter in. You guys know what filter you're gonna use for, I'm not gonna tell you any type of filter that's out there or anything, just filter. But so you know how big of a filter hole you need. If you want to make it a little bigger, great. That edge is serged, so I don't have to worry about it. Or you could kind of do like a hand stitch to keep that edge turned under. When I talk about the edge, if you didn't serge it, this will be a raw edge right here. You just want to get that to turn under and stay out of the way. Remember, it's going to need to be used for some washes, but it doesn't have to be a lifetime mask, okay? So here's my mask. Remember, there's my one discolored tie, so it's always gonna go in my top right, and now I just need to pleat my mask how I like it. Yesterday, if you watched the video, I like 4-finger pleats, so I'm gonna do 3 pleats, nothing fancy. There's 1, come on, little booger, there's 2. I didn't make them tiny enough. Here we go, try again. 1, 2, 3. There she is. All right, I'm going to come to my machine and I'm going to stitch those 4 pleats down. I told you guys it's fancy. You know how I roll. All right. The other thing with this filter mask is you didn't have to do that 1/8-inch stay stitch because my hole's at the bottom. It's not on a side. So that's another little different thing that this mask has that yesterday's had, or this mask doesn't have that yesterday's had. All right, I got one side done. I'm going to come to the other side just real quick. Pleat, pleat, and last but not least, get that top one down in there. Come to my machine. One more seam. One more seam. We are almost done here. Let's see. Move that thread. I'm fighting the thread today. All right, push them together. Little back stitch if you want to back stitch. Don't really back stitch in quilting, but other things maybe I'll do a little back stitch on. And there's my mask, okay? It's got the filter hole at the bottom, so in the chin space, I can squeeze a filter right in that little cubby. Otherwise, if I don't need a filter, I don't have to have it. There it is. It ties up just like that, and I'm ready to go. So if you want to get fancy, you can add a pipe cleaner in the top. My mask is made out of Petri dish fabric. I thought that was kind of funny. A little joke. But there you go. So a tie to know what side faces my face, because both sides of my mask are the same. And I want to make sure that the yucky side always goes out. And so this is an easy way to do it. Otherwise, you could do like a little dot in the corner. I've heard lots of tips or tricks. You could try to use directional fabric that has writing on it so you know like the right writing goes out. I don't suggest quilting your mask. I don't suggest embroidering your mask. We don't want to put any additional holes in those fibers of the fabric. But as far as what type of fabric or what filter or anything like that, you guys do your own research. I am not your person.